Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans, from a warm Brisbane. Now, there's one thing that's consistent across government, universities, municipalities, public utilities, state-owned enterprises, you name it, since 1994, and that is the C word called corruption. And I went through a huge amount of email it was actually my morning. 3 a.m. in the morning I started going through. It took me 6 hours to go through all the emails that I got. I love your emails, so don't stop them, okay? I just love them because that's what this channel is about, is exposing what is going on. Now, out of all those emails, I got some very, very interesting information about what is going on in the university sector. And we know that the University of Cape Town now is totally discredited. I mean, that goes without saying. It is totally... The University of Cape Town is not what it used to be. Okay. So, let's have a look at what's happening around South Africa in the university areas. And these are just 3 different examples. It's going to blow your mind. The Minister of Education and Schools was asked to investigate allegations of fraud, death threats, corruption, and nepotism at the Vaal University of Technology, or VUT. VUT is currently one of the largest technical training universities in the country with some 20,000 students. And I would say that probably 90% of them are black Africans. Allegations of conflict between high-ranking officials have been made for quite a while in press reports. According to reports, the institution is on the verge of collapse due to large-scale financial plundering. The previous Vice-Chancellor, Mfo Diego, resigned this week amid death threats over his alleged whistleblowing regarding the corruption and mismanagement. Now, where have you heard all this shit before? As I said, you can go through any level of black African government and the word corruption, the C word, is right up there. Okay, the next article that I came across, and thank you to you for your emails. The Student Representative Council at the University of the Witwatersrand has vowed to shut down all academic activities at the institution until its demands relating to accommodation and registration are met. They are also calling for the university's hardship fund to be brought back. Students took to the streets of Braamfontein and disrupted classes on Monday, demonstrating against a call by the university not to allow students who owed the university 100,000 rand or less to register for the 2019 academic year. Students are unable to register because of their historical debts. We are going to shut down this entire week until they, university house students, and allow them to register, SRC President Sisanda Aluta Mbolekwa said. So, because they're not paying their debts to the university, which is causing a huge financial load on the university, they're now going to try and shut down the whole university so that kids who are honoring their debts are not allowed to study. That doesn't show intelligence, does it? But anyway. SRC President Mbolekwa said there was also not enough accommodation for students, which left many of them without a roof over their heads. Well, guess what? I bet you those are the ones who are not paying. You know, the one thing that I've noticed with as I get more and more into this subject is that the Bantu, black African population, think that the world is a place where you can go and freeload. Okay? You can just go and freeload. You don't pay for anything. You just go in there and you just take. And you can see that through the crime that's happening in South Africa. There's so many ways you can actually see where this is happening. Anyway, getting back to this female, the SRC president, Mbolekwa, she said they had engaged with the university's management and they had understood that students who owed 100,000 rand or less would be allowed back, but the institution had reneged on that agreement. However, the university said the claims that an agreement had been reached were not true. And I can tell you right now who I believe. And it's not the SRC person. As per the council-approved concession for 2019 below, only students who owe the university 10,000 rand or less will be allowed to roll over their debt and to register this year, Vice-Chancellor Andrew Crouch said in an email to students, which the paper has seen. Now, Andrew Crouch, he's obviously a white fella. I didn't know there were any of them left in the university, but it's good to see there are a couple around. You know, the whole education system in South Africa is cactus and it's just collapsing. According to the university, students who owed 10,000 rand or less from 2018 would be able to roll over the debt and register in 2019. Crouch also states in the email that students would also be required to sign an acknowledgement of debt and make an arrangement with the university to pay it off. Now that's fair enough. If you're going to be accommodated and you're going to be getting free meals and all that sort of stuff, you know, and you're getting an education as part of the package, any other country in the world, you pay off your debt. But not in South Africa. It's called Black Economic Privilege. BEP, okay? Absolutely unique to South Africa, even though it's going to go to China soon. Among other concessions which were approved by the Council for the 2019 academic year was that students made an upfront payment of 9,340 rand towards their fees before enrollment, Crouch said in his email. NFSAS students are not required to pay up front, he wrote. Meanwhile, the EFF Student Command has threatened to take matters in their own hands if the university fails to address residents' backlogs and students' funding challenges. It said in a statement that several students have not been able to register as a result of large amounts of historic debts and a lack of government funding for first-year students. Well, you know what I say to you little EFF arseholes? Go and stick it up your jumper. And I'd show you my middle finger, but I'm far too polite. You know, this is quite incredible. You saw what happened in my earlier video where the EFF are causing trouble again, and Malema, I keep on nearly calling him another ex-president, but anyway, where Malema is just a complete idiot. Wits University spokesman Sharona Patel told the paper that representatives of the senior executive team were working with the SRC to resolve their concerns. And she said the university respects the rights of students to raise their concerns and has created official channels of communication for these matters to be discussed. It is unacceptable for the academic program to be disrupted, which is exactly what the EFF are trying to do. I keep on talking about shooting yourself in the foot. These guys, I don't know what IQ they got up here, but I don't think it's all that great. I really don't. They probably haven't even got a year 12 or a matric pass. They've just been pulled in there to make up the numbers. I mean, who knows? But it is just absolutely crazy what's going on in South Africa with the education side. Patel said campus protection services were currently analysing video footage and were requesting staff and students to come forward to report incidents of intimidation and to make statements. And she said all incidents will be investigated and actions will be taken, including immediate suspensions where appropriate, in line with the university's rules, policies and procedures. Despite the SRC's planned shutdown, Patel says academic programs would continue as planned. Now, you heard earlier today or last night on my channel, again, I excuse the time zones, where Malema said his dream and vision is for the whites to be looking after little black kids. They'll be driving tractors on the farm, working for him on the farm. And the Bantu people will now be reigning glorious. Well, I have one simple response to Julius Malema, and that is China is moving in, buddy boy. China is moving in, and believe me, if you thought apartheid was bad, you have absolutely no idea what is coming. Just go and have a look at Kenya, where China are far down the track, rather like Zimbabwe is far down the track from South Africa. But we're talking about the role of China. In Kenya, they now have toilets which say China only, Chinese only. And then they've got separate toilets which are very inferior for black Kenyans. Does that remind you of something? I could go into a lot more detail about what's happening in Kenya, but China right now are taking over South Africa because of the incompetence, the corruption, the absolute chaos that is going on in South Africa. And you, Malema, are part of it, and you have a lot to answer for. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day.